Good morning. Today is September 13th, 2021. How y'all doing? I am coming on today to start a new journey, or talk about a new journey that I am starting today. At least that's the plan. I kind of started it yesterday because once I put it in my head, it was like, yeah, we're doing it. So this is a natural hair journey, or should I say it's a hair lock journey. I've been natural, growing my hair in its natural state since around 2012, I believe. Yeah, so my reasoning for going natural originally, I believe, started from me watching Good Hair. It's a documentary that Chris Rock put out, and I think that's what really started the wheels turning in my head to go natural. And then I was at the time living in Cincinnati, and I had been there since 2008, and I was doing my hair myself. I started relaxing my own hair because for some reason it was kind of hard to find a beautician there. Like, even when I googled it, the struggle was real. Hot flashes. I'm standing right by the vent. The air conditioner is on, and I also have a little fan on my windowsill, and I'm still sweating. So anyways, so yeah, it was hard to find a beautician down there. I looked up some beauticians in the area, and I didn't really find anything. I found a couple of Caucasian salons, but I didn't really trust going to a Caucasian person to deal with my hair and put a relaxer on. So I just didn't feel comfortable with that. And then I think I might have asked a couple people at church, since nobody at my job was black. Well, I shouldn't say that. Nobody that I really talked to or knew personally was black. And then at church, I was still new, and I was still kind of like on my own. So there was a few people that I did befriend, and I think I might have asked one person where they went to get their hair done. And I believe she told me she was going to get me some information. It almost seemed like she didn't really have a good person, but I'm not sure. But I never did get any information from her. So I went in on my own. Like I said, I relaxed my hair just with a box kit for several years. And then I had a very bad experience. I don't even want to relive it by talking about it right now. But I got extensions in my hair. I went to a hair school and got some braids, because I think I was about to go on a trip, and I wanted to put my hair up in braids. So I went to a salon, and then I didn't even know anybody that did braids in the area, so except for that school. So I got my braids done. Like I said, it was a horrible experience. But from all of that, I guess it was kind of like I was kind of getting it in my head to go natural, like just based on the experience. It was basically like I was creating me going natural. So I believe I stopped getting relaxers, or I stopped putting relaxers in my hair around 2012. I think that was another thing. I believe the last relaxer that I put in my hair damaged my hair. Because it was like at the time that I was mixing up the concoction, it was something about the way it was, the consistency of it didn't seem right. It didn't seem like it had been previously, but I was like, I did everything right. The date on the box was fine. I just didn't understand why the consistency was different. So anyways, I still went ahead and put it in my hair. I can't remember exactly what happened, if it just kind of broke off, or it didn't look right. I can't remember exactly. But anyways, I still pushed through, and then right after that, I think is when I wanted to put some braids in my hair, because I was going on vacation and I wanted to look nice, of course. So yeah, so when I took the braids out, I think it was around that time I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go natural. So I was pressing my hair on a weekly basis. That was awful, as I was trying to grow out the relaxed hair. And I was trimming it, I think, on a regular basis, maybe every couple of weeks. I would trim some of the relaxed part off. So I'm not sure exactly how long I did that, but eventually I was like, okay, I think it's long enough. I'm just going to just jump out and do it. So I believe I must have just had a little bit of relaxer left on my ends, maybe. But my hair was relatively short at that time, and it was I think partly due to the damage that I experienced at the with the braids, and then also with the relaxer. So it was probably, I guess, a combination of that my hair had gotten as short as it was. So I was a little iffy. I was watching some videos about natural hair, women that were on their natural hair journey. So I was just like kind of trying to get some hairstyles in mind that I could do, and then soon after that I just jumped out and did it. I believe I did a twist out, my first hairstyle, and it looked a hot mess, but I had to rock it because it was like I had to go to work the next day, and whatever I did, like I had to, like, basically, because I worked 5 days a week, the weekend was the only time that I had to experiment. So, and then I didn't know, like, the time it was going to take for a style to set. Keep feeling like something's crawling on me. And then, I mean, I was used to, like, you know, my hair, like, just letting my hair air dry. Hair takes a while to air dry, especially when you have it up in braids or twist. So the next day, like I said, it was not looking cute, but I had to own it because I had to go to work. So I just fixed it up the best way I knew how. So I went to work, and I just struggled through, basically, until I got the hang of it. And soon after I wore it out naturally, I was, you know, constantly looking at YouTube videos, watching YouTube videos, and trying to get some new hairstyles. And that's when I found out about protective styles. Well, I shouldn't say that I found out about them, but that's when I found out about crochet braids. And because I had never tried crochet braids, the only protective style I did, even when I was relaxed, was braids, individual braids. So when I found out about the crochet braids, I jumped in, of course, because I was just needed a break from struggling to figure my hair out and the products and everything. So I put it up in a protective style. It was cute. So yeah, so I was kind of like going back and forth between, as it got longer and longer, I would sometimes, occasionally, after I let it grow out some, like several months, I straightened it, and it was cute. I really liked it. Even though it was like super short, I really liked it. And then it just continued to flourish. And every once in a while, I would straighten it, and to see the growth. Like, I think a lot of naturals, when they first, go natural, they want to see the growth. We want to see the growth. So it was growing nicely. It looked healthy, and I was loving it. And I love doing my hair. I've always loved doing my hair. Even when I was like a teenager, I loved playing with my hair and styling it, doing new styles or different styles. So once I went natural and I found out about crochet braids, like, that was it. Like, I was like hooked on crochet braids. So I was in and out. Like, I would just go back and forth between wearing my hair natural and wearing protective styles. Mainly crochet braids, and then sometimes I would wear it out. I would press it. I was done at that. Like, after that one experience with the the braids, I was done letting anybody else touch my hair. So that was it. Because I was used to doing my own hair, and I felt like, even though I'm not a beautician, I never went to school for hair, but I felt more comfortable about doing my own hair than letting somebody else experiment on my hair, if that makes sense. Because it's like, I feel like I can at least semi-control what I'm doing and what products I'm putting in. Versus if you go to somebody, they may know how to take care of your hair, but it doesn't mean that they are going to have the best interest for your hair, if that makes sense. I was just like, I'm just going to do my own hair. I've been doing my own hair. I haven't looked back either. Been doing my hair since, well, really since I moved in 2008 down to Cincinnati. So since I knew how to do protective styles, like I was good. And fast forward to 2015, when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, lost all my hair. That was like the end. I mean, it wasn't the end, but it was just like, my hair was beautiful, it was flourishing, and then poof, it's all gone. So it took a whole year for, to go through all of my treatments, and then 2006, I was back to growing out my natural curly hair, and it was fun. It was actually kind of fun. I say kind of fun, because it was a struggle in those in between times when I couldn't put a protective style. Well, I could wear a wig, but I wasn't a wig wearer at all. Well, actually, I did still have my wigs, but because I had to wear wigs during my treatments, it was just like I was just sick of wigs. So it was like either I was going to wear my hair natural and just deal with it until it grows out longer, and that was it. So that's what I did. So I just wore it out naturally until it got long enough for me to braid it. And right before our wedding, 2016, in October, is when we had our wedding, and it was just long enough for me to braid it and put it in extensions. So I was excited about that. Otherwise, I probably would have just, I guess, wore it out naturally. So I was just like hoping, I guess that was my hope, my main hope was that it was going to be long enough. And I think I kind of figured it would be like a couple months before, because I think I had tried it maybe a few months before we had our wedding to see if it was going to be long enough, and I think it was, but it was still kind of slipping out because it wasn't quite long enough to make sure it stayed braided. So yeah, so after it grew out and it was gorgeous, it was super thick, so I was just like excited, but I was still like anxious about getting it back to the length that I had it prior to cancer. So I was still kind of struggling. I was doing crochet braids a lot because it was just like that in between stage that I just didn't like, and I wanted to tuck it away too, just so that I wasn't in it all the time. So yeah, then 2018, I believe, maybe 2019, I put a protective style in of faux locks, and the packages that I bought, the faux locks that I bought, they were crochet braids, or like for crocheting locks into your hair. And I was a little iffy because of the price of it, but I was like, oh, it looks really nice, like I'm getting an awesome price. Like I just thought it was just, they were just discontinuing the hair, which happens with hair. So I bought it, I put it in, and it was itching like constantly right off the bat. It was itching and irritating my scalp, and I believe I had straightened it right before going into that that installation of crochet braids. After a couple days where I realized I was just going to take them out because I was just having this eerie feeling, I guess, about the hair itself. So I took it out after a week, and I didn't really like it. Tim said it was nice, it looked nice, but I didn't really care for it. It was different, so I think I was just kind of like trying to wait and see if it was going to grow on me, but I couldn't take the itching. So I took it out, and then after that it seemed like my hair was just like so lifeless and dry and brittle, and I just couldn't, no matter what I did, it seemed like it was just, nothing was making it better. And I was doing some Aztec clay treatments, and it seemed like that was working at first, but then it wasn't. So I'm not sure really if it was like the heat, because that may have damaged my hair, maybe. I'm not sure, because I straightened my hair before and it never damaged it before. I'm thinking it was the crochet braids or the faux locks that just really irritated my skin, and maybe my hair too, or my scalp. And then I was also thinking, like, because heat dries your hair out, that I probably should have maybe waited or did a deep conditioning treatment before I put the faux locks in. But before, I hadn't had the issue. So anyways, it was just, I just kept trying different things for like almost like a year, and I was putting, I stayed in crochet braids because my hair was just like not right. And I think I just kind of just continued to work with it, and eventually over the last year or two, over the last 2 years really, it's been growing in. It's thicker, and it's a nice length in the back, and it's thickened up a lot in the front too, but it's still thinner than the rest of my hair. And then I've been kind of like trimming the front too to kind of like even it out, because the ends are still like thin from when it just was really brittle and it just broke off basically. And that's what it was too. It was like stringy, and I could tell it was thinner. It had thinned out a lot, so a lot of my hair had broken off, but I still had some length, so I would just trim it off each time I washed it, or each time I came out of my protective styles. It looks nice. It's every week it looks better and better. I took some pictures or video just recently, and the front was still just really, the ends were still uneven, and so I clipped off some more. So yeah, so yesterday, I don't know what happened. I need to ask Tim what happened. But we were talking about locks, and I've thought about getting locks before. I believe when I was natural the first time, and I think just during that time period, it crossed my mind that I wanted to get locks. But because locks are basically semi-permanent, I was just kind of like, sometimes I like to straighten my hair, or sometimes I want a different color with like, playing around with different hair types or wave patterns with the crochet hair. So that's fun to me. And sometimes I just want to touch it. I just want to play in my natural hair. So I was just thinking like, dang, do I really want to make that drastic step? So it would just kind of enter my head, like here and there, it would just kind of like enter my head. And that's probably why I eventually did get the faux locks. But because of the hair and that experience, I really didn't get a sense of what I would really look like with locks. Yeah, but it's always kind of just been in the back of my head. So it came up again for some reason, like I said, and yesterday we went to an art festival, and We were walking around, and for something, we were talking about something, and anyways, I asked him, I said, Tim and I were talking about, me getting locks. And he said, I think you look really nice with locks. He pretty much likes any style that I wear, just as long as it's, I look nice. But, I mean, part of looking nice is just rocking whatever state my hair is in, just owning it. So when we got home, I got on my computer and I just started watching videos after videos after videos of people doing locks. Or it started off with, would I be able to just take them out if I decided that I no longer wanted them for whatever reason? And there were some videos where people had locks, whether extension locks or their natural hair was locked up, they were able to take the locks out. So it's not an easy process by any means, because it is supposed to be basically semi-permanent, so kind of like a relaxer. Either you cut it off or you let it grow out. So I was thinking about that and weighing the pros and cons based on the information I was getting, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. So I just decided I'm just gonna do it. You have to just make a decision and jump in. So like I said, I did the research and I feel good about my decision, of course, or I wouldn't be doing it. And I'm ready to do it. So I washed my hair. My hair was itching last night anyway, so I had to wash it. So I washed and conditioned it, and I just put it in these braids to kind of stretch it. And I just wanted to dry some and stretch some so that I can go ahead and twist it. So that's the process that I'm going to do. I'm going to twist my hair all over in individual twists, and then I'm going to let the twist lock. So I plan to come on a weekly basis and journal my journey. And just kind of like document my process, because that's what I did with when I went natural. That was the main reason why I started making videos, is because I was going natural and I just kind of wanted to see the journey. So here's my first video, and hopefully I'm going to get it twisted today. It's early enough so I have some errands to run right now, and then I have to pick up the kids this afternoon. So right after I get back from all of that, I'm going to come home and get started on my twist. I also need to first get some products that pretty much everybody that I watch was talking about, and that is rose water and aloe vera juice. So both of which I have never tried on my hair, but everybody claims that aloe vera juice is supposed to keep your hair moisturized. So since you don't want a lot of product in your hair to weigh it down and then cause a lot of buildup, I really don't want to put any type of other products in my hair. So so I'm gonna go to TJ Maxx or Marshalls and pick up some rose water and aloe vera juice. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then hopefully later this week or whenever, I'll come back and show you my twist, how they look, and then go from there, like showing the process. So hopefully you'll stick around with me and go through the process with me. And I plan to not put these up until maybe after several months, where I see how I like it and if I actually decide to stick with it. So, which I do plan to stick with it, because when I get my mind set on something, I don't jump in without doing any research. So I try and do a little research. I'm not going to done my research. I trust myself more than going to a loctician, I guess, because I know my hair and I know they know the process. But I figured locks is supposed to be low maintenance, and enough people on YouTube have done it. Enough people, and I can even ask like some people that in my family that have locks now. If I have any questions, I can always like ask them. And then I know I have a friend too that has locks, and she knows somebody or whoever does her locks or whatever. I know how to do hair. I know how to twist. I know how to coil. I know how to, you know, do like the technique to retwist it. Yeah, I feel better with my hands than letting somebody else touch my hair. So that's what I'm gonna do. And like they say, it's just hair. Regardless, I still feel like right, wrong, or indifferent. I still feel more comfortable with me doing my own hair. So that's what I'm gonna do. So like I said, I washed it. You can see the length. It's a little longer on this side than this side, but not by much. But you know, of course, it is shrunken in its shrunken state. But I braided it to get it at least a little elongated before I twist it up, because the twists are going to kind of like coil back on themselves anyway. Alright, so I'm going to get going. I'll see you next time. Bye!